Raspberry Service Center right here in Trenton. All your tire and automotive needs. 24 hours, 7 days a week towing. If you need towing, one call will get it done from Raspberry's Service Center. The daytime phone number is 855-0099. If you need them at nights, 855-9438. Raspberry Tire and Service Center, Highway 45 bypass south in Trenton, Tennessee. Here comes Harry back delivering the football. And if you're watching at point5digital.com, some great views of the game ball being delivered here in Trenton, Tennessee. And boy, I've done some flying in helicopters and helicopter pilots. It's windy tonight. They get a little nervous when it's windy, especially when you add in a full stadium of people. You got to be on top of your game if you're flying that helicopter, Buford.
Boy, you couldn't get me in there for nothing. I'd have to be like, I'd be like B.A. Barragas. I ain't flying no helicopter, Hannibal.
But a great scene here. It's Peabody High School. As you watch it at point5digital.com. And Harry back 7 Lifeline team out of Jackson. Delivering the game ball. Right there, landing on the P. The Peabody Power P. Holding up a sign that says Roll Tide. And you can see here the home stands are really filling up. You and across the way over there at visitors' side with Adamsville. Big crowd over there. They're lined up along the fences to watch this game. This is big. I mean, this is the semifinal. You win here,
you play for a title
on the biggest stage that your home state has to offer for a state championship in Cookeville, Tennessee. We'll be right back on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 at point5digital.com.
Hey, you've even got the Super Bowl News Talk 101.5 FM.
Eddie's Pharmacy in Trenton is your local hometown pharmacy. Locally owned and operated, Eddie's Pharmacy offers free delivery with Eddie and Clint Sturgeon. Eddie's Pharmacy is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 to 2. In business since 2007 in the Davy Crockett Shopping Center in Trenton. For free delivery, call 855-1000. That's 855-1000. Eddie's Pharmacy, 114 the Davy Crockett Shopping Center in Trenton. Amy Greer is your State Farm insurance agent right here in Trenton. Amy's a huge supporter of Peabody football, and she says Roll Tide. And with Amy Greer at State Farm Insurance, our mission is to help people manage the risk of everyday life, recovery from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. From insurance to financials, claims, and customer care, visit amygreer.com. Amy Greer, your State Farm insurance agent. 308 South College Street, right here in Trenton. Call Amy at 855-0433. That's 855-0433 for Amy Greer with State Farm Insurance. Ed Norman with LA Realty is your hometown real estate specialist right here in Trenton. With Ed Norman, you're dealing with a high-caliber professional with extensive experience and knowledge about our local real estate markets. Whether you're looking for residential, commercial, investment, or farm into land, our team is here to guide you. Ed Norman with LA Realty. Call Ed at 571-7092. That's 571-7092. View our listings online at larealtyllc.com. Ed Norman with LA Realty in Trenton. Food Right in Trenton, led by manager Bubba Abbott, is committed to courteous and professional customer service. Food Right in Trenton is also your locally owned hometown grocery store. Visit our website at myfoodright.com and check on our weekly specials. Food Right in Trenton, 108 West Armory Street. Food Right, your hometown grocery store. Call 855-1916 for Food Right.
This is attorney Bradley Owens of Hardy Martin Donahoe Owens & Wright. We're a full-service law firm located in Jackson and Trenton, handling all types of legal matters, including personal injury, workers' compensation, divorce and family law, bankruptcy, Social Security disability, and criminal defense. Let Hardy Martin Donahoe Owens & Wright solve all your legal problems. Call us today at 424-2151.
Tipping the scales in your favor.
Fact, a well-maintained vehicle will help save you money at the pump. Let Gene Langley Ford Service Department help you protect your vehicular expenditure. At Gene Langley Ford, your vehicle gets the maintenance it needs from folks who know it well, and we have great prices too. From oil changes to tire care for any make or model, Gene Langley Ford is committed to maximizing the driving dollar. That's how we roll. At the dealership service built, Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt.
I'm Steven with Southern Trucks and 4x4. Here at Southern Trucks, we not only do accessories and parts for individuals, but we also perform commercial work on business fleets. We can service and repair both diesel and gas engines. Our experienced service technicians and advanced technology allows us to upgrade your company's vehicles' performance and fuel mileage. We can accessorize your vehicles with products or design and manufacture any modification that your business vehicle requires.
If it has to do with your business vehicle, Southern Trucks and 4x4, your people. 45 Bypass, 668-8084. Modern Telephone can install the most reliable phone system in the world in your business, but that's not where it stops. Any computer and networking issue your company runs into, wireless and wired networking, setting up firewalls and virus protection, digital faxing, printers, scanners, backups so you don't lose your important data, PA and paging systems, IP cameras. If it has to do with communications, Modern Telephone brings you the solution. No reason to accept less than the best. Modern Telephone 422-3600.
Did you say football? High school game of the week, the SEC Championship, and the NFL on Monday nights. News Talk 101.5 FM. 101.5 FM.
This is WNWS-FM Jackson. News from the Associated Press brought to you by the Hughes Eye Center, the best in medical and surgical eye care. 112 Stonebridge, Jackson.
What a great job of the Peabody High School Marching Band with our national anthem. And boy, I don't care where you're from. Well, if you're from this country, you hear that, and those chills go up and down your spine. The national anthem, and it signifies the start of something special. And tonight, it's Peabody and it's Adamsville. Let's go down to the field to Richard, the narrator, Barber.
All right, fellas, we walked the field. Burgers been cooked, the popcorn's ready. We're just a few minutes away from kickoff here, fellas, and y'all can look around. These Peabody stands full. You look on the other side, the Adamsville visitor side, and it's a pretty good haul from Adamsville to here, but when you look over there, you see it. It's a little bit of a breeze still blowing, fellas, not like it was about an hour ago, but we're getting just about ready to play some football.
Well, you're right, narrator. My name's Dan Reeves, along with Seabass, Rich, and the narrator, Barber, on the sideline, and Coach Joe Holloway here in the press box with us. Dan DiFilippo producing and directing. We also want to say hello to our friends at the Victory 93.7 over in Milan. They're carrying Milan versus CPA, so if you're listening for that game, it's right there at 93.7. The Victory with Stevie Ray Heyman and Robin Coon and all the great folks over there, including Bradley Owens, Sherry Vaughn. They're all right there, and they do a great job covering Gibson County sports. And tonight, they're covering Milan and CPA over at 93.7. Our friends over at the Victory, a ministry for Christ and the community. Those are great people over there.
Oh, they are. Stevie Ray, the Body Heyman.
You said it.
That was his nickname, the Body.
The Body. And Massey says the H Factor.
Yes.
Stevie Ray.
I didn't know that was his new nickname. I love me some Stevie Ray.
Yeah, so we say hello to our friends over there. They'll be updating. They'll help us keep up with this Milan CPA game tonight as well. And thanks to Robin Coon and all the folks right over there. Well, and we have so many great sponsors tonight, including Modern Telephone and Hardy Martin, Donahoe, Owens, and Wright, the premier law firm in all of Tennessee. By Food Right, your local hometown grocery store, Food right here in Trenton, Tennessee. So if you need all their specials, you can find them online at myfoodright.com, and those weekly specials are right there. It's myfoodright.com. Food Right in Trenton, Tennessee. 108 West Armory in Trenton, committed to courteous and professional customer service at Food right here in Trenton. And we also think, of course, the guys making this possible at point5digital.com and its hometown self-storage. When you need storage, you need hometown self-storage with 8 locations in West Tennessee, including 2 right here in Trenton. Melanie Carter and Bryant Tucker, former Peabody player, will take care of you on Halliburton and also on the bypass. And climate control coming to the bypass location next month with hometown self-storage. 571-1517. And there's one of those victory lines, Coach, that we used to see a lot. Don't see these a whole lot anymore, but with some of the fans and the band forming the victory line for the players to run through is a very special occasion. For some of these players, this will be the final time they run through the victory line.
Absolutely. The roar of the crowd, the butterfly. Right now, there are some butterflies in both locker rooms. People trying to figure their best way to focus on the game. Some last-minute instructions being given here, and you pump yourself up. Bass, you pumped yourself up many a time for football games.
What are you talking about? Metallica's Damage Incorporated.
Who wins tonight, you? Well, Peabody hosting Adamsville.
These are two teams that are used to being very, very dominant and getting in the end zone. It's going to take a lot of points. I think you're going to need at least 35 tonight. I've got Adamsville 38-35 over Trenton.
Wow. Let's go down to the narrator.
Fellas is real big with Laufenbach bringing that ball in tonight, and I don't know if y'all talked about it, but that was the guy that delivered the ball was Scott Summers, who was an outstanding athlete here, graduated in '93, and that just got. And then as he got out of the helicopter, he held up a big sign that said "Roll Tide." Of course, the Peabody Golden Tide.
Yeah, you know, we did talk about that narrator, but that was a very special moment here in Trenton, Tennessee. Now the captains at midfield for the coin toss. Tonight's captains for Peabody, Octavius Lee, a 5'8", 165-pound junior, along with Kendrick Malone, 5'11", 180-pound junior. Xavier Ball is 5'7", 165, a senior. And Jarrett Penn, a 5'10", 170-pound senior, the captains for tonight's game for the Peabody Golden Tide. Coach, who wins it?
Well, here's what I think special teams are going to wind up being the difference in this game. You got speed versus the immovable object. And I'm going with Trenton 35-31.
Peabody 35-31. Bass says 38-35 Adamsville. Peabody won the toss, and they defer, so to be Adamsville receiving the opening kickoff. And, boy, when you look at these two teams, and yeah, Bass and Coach, you both agree that it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think you're probably right. I think Peabody's to the tune of 40-28.
So
I like Peabody.
You don't think it's quite as close then?
I think it's going to be close much of the game. And Peabody to pull away there at the end. Because these are two very, very good football teams, without a doubt. And Adamsville certainly, Coach, has the experience edge being here. They've played in this game the last 2 seasons and won it, moving on to Cookeville. They've lost once they've reached the state championship game in Cookeville, but this is a team with a lot of experience playing in games just like this.
Other than the butterflies, Dan, I don't think it makes any difference. Let me tell you what happens here is it boils down to how bad do you want it, how hard are you willing to work to get it. Bass, I think that Adamsville has got to get the ball to Bircham, especially in non-passing situations, because Peabody can adjust their defense to stop Bircham if it's a passing situation.
Yeah, and Bircham's now 6'5", 215. Seems like he's been here at Adamsville forever, man. And you look at him and Jacob Dingler and guys like Micah Harris, they've got a lot of weapons. But you look at Peabody, we mentioned Jared Penn, a fantastic player. Zay Norman as well, Kendrick Malone, Octavius Lee. Plenty of playmakers on both sides of the ball for both of these teams. We should be in for an absolute treat tonight.
Let me read you some numbers. Goodwin, 4.5. Banks, 4.76. Penn, 4.45. Malone, 4.5. Speed kills.
Boy, it does, Coach.
Getting it done.
Absolutely. That's picking them up and putting them down there. Well, Peabody of the home unis. The black helmets with the gold P on both sides. The black jersey, white numerals trimmed in gold, the black football pants for the Peabody Golden Tide. For Adamsville, the Cardinals, their road unis, the silver helmet with a cardinal on each side, white jersey, red numerals, and the white pants for the Adamsville Cardinals. For Peabody, kick it off tonight. And he's been a steady kicker all season long for the Golden Tide. The young man, number 11, Drew Sanders. Drew's a senior for the Golden Tide. He'll be kicking off for Peabody.
And look at that. Look at the flag. That's a stiff wind there.
LeDerrick Means, one of the speedsters for Adamsville, standing back awaiting the kick. And yeah, it is, Bill, that the wind has really picked up tonight. We'll see how that affects, because
it's already affected
alone was, 15 of 16 against McKenzie for 250 yards or so. And you're right. Coaches pointed out the first casualty of the wind is the football being blown off the tee.
Tell you what, this Means kid back for Adamsville, he is quicker than a hiccup. He's their leading rusher.
So Sanders is ready, and we are underway. It's a high driving kickoff that will sail in and out of the end zone. But the touchback is Ross Mercham. The all-everything for Adamsville didn't give Mr. Sanders near enough respect, View, and he booted it right over his head and out of the end zone.
Well, like I said, that flag is fully out right now, and, they were up to about the 15, 20-yard line. I was like, I get that if they're kicking the other direction, but not a surprise that one went in the end zone.
And Bass, what do you know about this Adamsville offense?
That they have a fantastic ground game. There's no question. And, of course, you want the ball in Bertram's hands as much as you can possibly get it. He's a mismatch.
And Adamsville to the line with Seth Paul, the quarterback, the 5'11 senior under center. Two wide receivers. On the ground they go, running right side, hit at the line, and drops behind the line of scrimmage. Peabody will throw him for a loss on first down. That's going to lose a yard back to the 19.
And that was Brandon Johnson, the junior linebacker. You see him slant to the wide side off of a double tight formation, and they were all past the line of scrimmage before Adamsville could get off the ball. So early speed from that Trenton defense.
And you see on the hometown self-storage instant replay, there was Chris Irons on the carry. It'll be second down and 11. This time out of the shotgun. On the ground again, straight ahead from the 19 out to the 22. It's a gain of 3 yards, and that's all.
And you're not going. And right now, Adamsville doesn't mind throwing the football, but coach, they're going into this first quarter into a heavy wind.
Down on the sideline, here's the narrator.
Fellas, what we heard early was that Adamsville was going to have the size advantage when you look at the point of attack. But as you look down that line and you see Peabody Tide men like Norman and Reeves, it's not a huge difference if it's a difference.
They are big for 2A, aren't they, Coach? Both teams.
Oh, that huge offensive line.
Out of the shotgun, back to throw. Swings it out, complete in the backfield to the 20. Hurdling a tackle to 25 and taken off his feet at the 28-yard line. On the reception was Irons. Irons needed 10 and got 9. It'll be fourth down and short for Adamsville.
Well, as you go back to the replay, look at this block by Ross Bertram out on the wide side for a receiver. He just manhandles the defender, but it's not quite enough. Here's the block. Look at this. Look at it. Just slings him down.
On the hometown self-storage instant replay, and Adamsville will be forced to punt it away.
And the reason they didn't call a hold on him, a lot of fans hollering, he kept his hands inside that zone where you can just get you a good handful and it's not holding.
Jared Penn standing back at his own 45, waiting to punt for Peabody. And we got whistles and some laundry.
Too much time.
That play clock struck 0.
Peabody showed that they were fixing to bring everybody but the kitchen sink then, and I don't think that the punter and the offensive line were ready.
Ross Burnsham also punts for Adamsville. What a great athlete, isn't he, Buford?
He's got a monster leg, but what can he do into this stiff wind?
Low snap. Burnsham gets it out of there. It's high. Going to be short. End over end. They will hit it to 48 and kick backwards. And touchdown by Adamsville at the Cardinal 45-yard line. It's to the Tide. We'll have it 1st and 10 in Adamsville territory, Mew.
Yeah, it couldn't have gone any better for Trenton Peabody. A 3-and-out after the punt. You get the ball in Cardinal territory. Let's see what this explosive Peabody offense can do with their first drive.
Kendrick Malone, the junior quarterback, he's had a terrific season here for the Tide. With 9:14 left in the first quarter. Peabody held Adamsville to a 3-and-out. The Tide will take it out of the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 45. Malone will keep it with room to the 40. Outside the numbers. 35 to the 30 to the 25 to the 20 to the 15, 10. And he steps out of bounds. They'll mark him out of bounds inside the red zone at the Cardinals 17, and Kendrick Malone nearly took that one to the house.
Boy, and a lot of the Cardinals went with that fake on the jet sweep, and you look at the acceleration that time by Malone. But watch this at the end of the play. Look at his wide receiver, Jared Penn, at the goal line throwing a block.
Oh, they block good, their wideouts do. Have all season, every film I've seen.
1st and 10, Peabody from the 17, and this one in the backfield is going to be dumped for a loss. Octavius Lee is tackled at the 22. That's a loss of 5 at first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looked like on the jet sweep, like the timing, coach, might not have been right there. Looks like maybe had to wait for it just a little bit, or the handoff not quite clean. Somebody misses a block on the right edge.
Yeah, and somebody couldn't hold a block either.
That first down was a food right first down. Here's Malone swinging it out. Caught. Nearly intercepted, but caught at the 15, down to the 10, and taken off his feet at the 8-yard line. On 2nd down and 15, it's a gain of right at 13 yards and a little swing pass. It was dangerous, but Malone had enough zip on it to get it past the defender.
You're right, and that looked like it might have been Bradley Parmley who stretched out for it, just couldn't get the ball, but the lefty showed great touch, did Kendrick Malone on that pass.
Jared Penn on the reception. It's 3rd down and right at a yard. Peabody at the Adamsville 8. Malone out of the gun with trips to the right. Here's Malone. He'll keep it. Malone in trouble, and Malone will not get there. He's thrown down in the backfield as Malone on that read kept it, and he's thrown down at the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2, and now Peabody got to attempt a field goal. No, they're going to go for it, looks like, Bill.
Well, and that was big Blake Sweat, the junior defensive lineman, 6'5", 270. You want to disrupt a zone read offense, get interior pressure from the A-gap. That's what you do.
4th down and 3 at the 10. Malone out of the gun with a tight formation. Play clock down to 9, and Malone asks for and receives a timeout. Let's go down to the sideline. Here's Richard, the narrator Barber.
Fellas, right off, you can see the explosiveness of Kendrick Malone. The big run he had on the read option, then how quick he can get rid of the ball on that little out. And it's got Adamsville back on its heels. I don't think they expect to get hit in the mouth like that right off.
Yeah, Malone is very, very explosive. Coach, your thoughts here as Peabody now facing a 4th down and 3 at the Adamsville 10.
Well, it seems like they're able to attack the left side of their offensive line. You got a left-handed quarterback, so your plays have been more successful to that side. Hadn't gotten anything off the right side, and Bass pointed out perfectly. Too much penetration in the middle. It blows up the spread offense.
Yeah, it looks like Trenton's had a change of heart, Danny.
And the Tide now elects for the field goal attempt. This will be a 30 or make it a 27-yard attempt. Snap, place, kick is up, it's winding downfield, and that kick is good. Drew Sanders with a 27-yard field goal, but the Tide have struck first with 7:47 left. In the first quarter, our new score, Peabody 3 and Adamsville nothing on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at point5digital.com. Raspberry Tire and Service Center in Trenton has you covered with all your tires and automotive needs. Raspberry Tire also offers 24 hours, 7 days a week towing service. Towing light, medium, and heavy-duty recovery services. Call Kyle Raspberry for all your towing needs. The daytime phone number is 855-0099. The nighttime number is 855-9438. Raspberry Tire and Service Center, 2216 Highway 45 Bypass South, Trenton, Tennessee. One call and you're hooked at Raspberry Tire and Service Center.
This is where you hear the latest news and best talk 24 hours a day. News Talk 101.5 FM and .5digital.com.
Well, an update. Victory 93.7 update. CPA on Des Moines first with 9:03 left in the first quarter. 7-0 they lead Milan. Here's Sanders' kickoff. Is going to be taken in and fumbled at the 5. Burcham scoops it up to the 10. Burcham in trouble, and Burcham is taken off his feet back at the 14-yard line. And a very good start for the Tide. It'll be first down for Adamsville from their own 14. Here's the narrator.
Fellas, Peabody's got to go in their way. You know, the cold hands, the hard football, Adamsville couldn't field it cleanly, so they're going to start backed up. We talked about community schools, fellas. Frankie Hodges, Paul Hudson, kids that played in this Peabody system on this Peabody coaching staff.
Well, and as the narrator says, Adamsville, but there's some laundry down in the field. That's going to go against Peabody.
Yeah, I thought on the tackle I saw a face mask. Didn't see if that was the official call, but looked like it.
Seth Paul, the quarterback. For Adamsville, new line of scrimmage. Their own 29. Paul going to hand it off. And it hammered in the backfield for a loss of yardage. Is that Peabody defensive line wins the battle again? And on the tackle, Matthew Pickard and company.
Well, and what's happening right now, if you watch the replay, as the ball is snapped, you'll see walking up to the line of scrimmage. It's not an A-gap blitz, it's a delay. But once again, we called his name in the first series. Number 8, Brandon Johnson, the junior linebacker, is so fast through that A-gap that Adamsville can't account for him, and he hits a running back in the backfield.
He's a 4.45 man in there, and that's the reason he's so quick. And there was a hole you could have driven a Mack truck through to tackle.
The loss is 2, back to the 27. Adamsville from their own 27. This time, Paul out of the gun. Play action, back to throw. Gives deep down the sideline and incomplete. On the coverage for Peabody was Kenyon Goodwin. It'll be third down and long for the Cardinals with 6:49 remaining in the first quarter. It's Peabody 3 and Adamsville nothing.
And I like the call because you got to try to throw even though you're going against the wind in this particular quarter. You can't eliminate that part of the game from the playbook. Adamsville can throw the football, but you got to keep it down. In this jet stream right here, you must keep that ball down.
And you're going against shorter defensive backs, and anytime you go to Burcham, you got an advantage on height.
Seth Paul out of the gun again with 2 wide receivers. Irons alone setback. He'll get it. Hit it to line, breaks a tackle. And not the second, however, as Paul moves from the 27 to the 30. A correction, it's Irons with a 3-yard gain, but it's 4th down and 12, or make it 3rd and 12. And now it's 4th down and 10. And the Cardinals, for the second straight possession, 3 and out.
Well, if we can get a look at that replay once again, I thought Brandon Johnson, who this time was lined up on the left end this time, the linebacker, I thought he crossed that line of scrimmage a little quick. Either that or he timed it absolutely perfectly.
It had to be perfect time. He blew that play up.
Yes, he did.
Brandon Johnson did. Burcham in to punt it away again. The left-footed kicker strikes the football and hits it off the side of his foot. They will hit it the Peabody 45 and take a big Cardinal roll, and they'll down it at the Peabody 38-yard line of the Tide. Started their first drive in Adamsville territory. Will have nice starting field position here on drive number 2 with 6:03 left in the first quarter. It's Peabody 3-0.
Fellas, Kendrick Malone is engaged in this football game. Not only when he's got his offense out on the field, but when they're over here on the sideline. He's up and down the sidelines encouraging his teammates.
Malone is a leader for this tie. The quarterback out of the shotgun. He's going to keep it. Running right side, looking for the edge. Caught and breaks the tackle in the backfield, but then gains tackled at the line of scrimmage. He may have lost a half a yard on first down.
Well, that was Austin Cotner playing assignment football, and his job to protect that edge. String it out. Do not let Kendrick Malone kick it outside, and he did, and forces him back inside and actually makes the tackle, nearly strips it.
And the key to that is you keep the man on your inside shoulder. Never let him get to your outside shoulder or he's got you whipped.
No gain on first down. 2nd and 10. Peabody at their own 38-yard line, leading 3-0. Empty backfield, man in motion right to left. Here's Malone back to throw. Looking downfield, Malone, plenty of time. Malone now fires across the middle, caught at the 40. In Cardinal territory and brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a Peabody first down as Kevon Goodwin across that middle for the food ride. First down and tied or right back in Cardinal territory.
And the reason this is okay is because Malone is left-handed. If he's right-handed, he probably can't make that throw across his body.
You're right, Bass, and he's got 35 yards in two.
Here's Malone. He'll keep it again, running right side with room. Outside the numbers from the 39 down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 4 by Malone on first down for Peabody.
Yeah, and that's Austin Cotner holding that edge that time. He had 2 wide receivers trying to block him, but he forced that thing and strung it all the way out.
He sure did, Coach.
He's done a great job setting that corner.
Looking a lot like Michael Vick with his style. The good Michael Vick, that is.
Mm-hmm.
I like that young man playing corner over here.
They say he stepped out at the Cardinal 36. That'll make it a gain of 3. It's 2nd down and 7. Peabody at the Cardinal 36. Here's Malone out of the gun. Play action, back to throw. Malone fires across the middle. Caught at the 23-yard line for another food right first down on the reception end. This time is Octavius Lee, and the Tide rolling again.
Well, if you watch Octavius Lee, he's on the right slot this time. To watch him off the line of scrimmage, he just goes over the defensive back and runs a drag route on the second level, uncovered. Beautiful throw by Malone.
To the sideline, here's the narrator.
Fellas, we talk so much about how important it is for an offense to get into a rhythm. Peabody came out in rhythm this whole first quarter. They've been rolling.
Here's Malone on the keeper. Malone is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on first down with 4:27 remaining. In the first quarter, it's 3-0 Peabody. Peabody has more points, 3, than the Cardinals have first downs. They're yet to record a first down.
Yeah, and Adamsville loaded the left edge that time and had more defenders than blockers that time. And Hutch Hefner, the junior, 5'9", 171, makes a nice tackle in the backfield because you don't have Malone down until Malone is down.
Down to 4 minutes left in the first quarter. 3-0 Peabody leading Adamsville here the 2A state semifinals, 2nd and 11. Peabody at the Cardinal 23. Malone on the keeper again. He's in trouble in the backfield, reversing field. Outside the numbers, caught and dumped in the backfield. Back at the 28-yard line, it's going to be a loss of 5. It'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Once again, interior pressure wrecked that play, even though they weren't able to make the tackle. But once again, what name are we calling? Austin Cotner, who's already got the job of guarding Jared Penn, the best receiver in this game for Trenton Peabody. But he's played so well defensively, makes another nice open tackle.